We're back. Did you miss us? You should have. We are the BadCatz Sports Podcast. I got a little. How's my sound?
Fine, yeah. Fine.
I'm not a little canny. You don't think I'm a little tin canny? No. Check. Yeah, here we go. Now we're back. Okay, it's the BadCatz Sports Podcast. We've been on a little vacay. Can somebody throw me a pen? Because I just dropped one. Hey, you know something? I have the Nikhil Harrys. That's what I'm going to say when you drop a pen or you drop a microphone. I got the Harrys. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Oh. Well, I mean...
Could be one of the worst draft picks in Patriots history. Correct?
Well, who was the receiver that they were supposed to take? Let
me just list off the names of the receivers around Nikhil Harry for you.
DK Metcalf was.
Hold on,
that's not just one. There's plenty of them. There's 2018, right?
Yeah.
NFL draft wide receivers. All right, so we got. No, maybe not 2018. Was it 2019?
Well, just go to DK Metcalf was the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah, what year was that?
Could have had.
I know it was Metcalf,
2 or 3 years ago.
Terry McLaurin, A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel. They were all around that spot. So, I mean...
Oh, my God.
You miss out on 4 of those guys for not even close the worst one in Nikhil Harry. I mean, hey, you win some, you lose some, and they lost one pretty big because the Patriots' biggest need right now is a wide receiver.
And we're going to dive into that. And this is the BadCatz Sports Podcast, NFL Week 16 in review. So we go back, we talk about some of the biggest moments, the biggest plays, the biggest upsets, the biggest wins, the biggest issues. And, of course, we'll preview tonight's big game in the city of New Orleans. New Orleans. Who that? Who that gonna beat them Saints?
The Big Easy.
Well, the Saints are playing with a third-string quarterback by the name of Ian Book, who's never played a professional game. They are -3, and I think everybody in this building has teased their Saints up, but that's another story for another day. Riley, what's up, my brother? What's going down? You are rocking the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Really? I didn't even notice that.
Yes. Yeah. I said one time on the show that this is my favorite jersey in basketball history, and then my mom got it for me, and I wasn't even expecting it just because, like, I don't really care for the players. I just love the jersey. I think it's one of the.
Right, it's a hot jersey. It's a hot jersey.
I think they should have never changed their colors or their name, but yeah.
Now, do you have the Memphis Grizzlies there or the Vancouver
Grizzlies?
Whoa.
This is from 95, 96. Or no, sorry, 96, 97.
My brother's favorite NBA travel destination. Yes.
Vancouver?
He said unbelievably. Not Memphis.
When was Memphis?
Are you crazy?
When was Memphis?
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. I can't see my brother in Graceland. I could see him for sure in the mountains of British Columbia with the water. They say it is beautiful.
Just like this jersey.
In Vancouver. Beautiful in Vancouver.
Rarefied air up there.
Rarefied air. Clean air.
When did the Vancouver Grizzlies change to the Memphis Grizzlies?
Good question. I couldn't tell you that off the top of my head.
I know that they put Zach Randolph, the first player.
That. I like that.
So do I, in the Hall of Fame. I don't know about a nice guy.
No, but he did. I've seen him do some nice things for people.
What he did with that kid who had a cerebral palsy, that was wicked. You know what I loved about that? That was not faked.
Yeah.
That was not staged. There was no bullshit. That was a general reaction. That was some cool shit right there.
They moved to Memphis in 2001, by the way.
2001. Can I name 5 players that have played for the Vancouver Grizzlies?
I have played for them?
Yeah.
I
got one on my shirt right now.
It's funny you mentioned that because I had part of the trivia question tonight was tied into the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Wow, that's so weird. What are the odds? Birdie had no idea I got this, and then he connects it to the Vancouver Grizzlies. I mean, that's just
save
wild.
that part for later on.
Grandmother is back. Eileen, I was looking for you on Christmas Eve. I wanted to give you a big kiss.
Yeah.
But she
left early.
She left early?
Yeah.
What's going on, Eileen? Well, we got to one of the highlights of our Christmas. We got to spend time with the Arrudas, right?
Very nice time.
And Birdie finally got to see how diehard of Broncos fans we actually are. Everything in my room, Broncos. I mean, we have cups, everything in the house.
Well, was not really surprised, but yeah, it was a little different.
Okay, man, we got to check in with you. What's going on with Chelsea?
So they actually played. They called Boxing Day. It's the day after Christmas. It's a big holiday in England. They always play that day. They actually had a really good game. And I thought
what is Boxing Day about? Can we inform our listeners?
It was So before, back in the day, it was to give the poor people presents. That's what it was. Sure. To gift out presents to the poor people. Now it's changed into like a shopping holiday because that wasn't as nice, I guess, to do. Okay, yeah. So it's kind of like a shopping holiday.
After Christmas, get great bargains.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So now it's like a shopping day and sports. So it's a lot of sports because there's always guaranteed games on Boxing Day, and every single team plays. So there's 20 teams. So there's 10 games on Boxing Day. So if you're big into soccer, you sit there all day just watching 10 games, whatever. So they played
on the telly.
Yep, on the telly. I love that. And they played yesterday. I thought they played really well. Lukaku came back. He was a huge influence. I'm liking what I'm seeing. 6 points is a lot to make up on Man City, but they could do it. I mean, they're the champions of Europe. I mean, we're the best team in Europe right now. So gonna ride that wave until it goes away, and I'm loving watching them play. So they turn it around slowly but surely.
Fantasy football, you get yourself in a little bit of a jam.
Yes.
Okay,
not too good.
You need a miracle tonight.
Tonight, I do need a miracle. So I'm in the semifinals, and I need Mike Gesicki to score 12 points to catch up to my opponent. And then I need him to outscore Myles Gaskin after that. So Mike Gesicki needs to outscore Myles Gaskin by 12 points for me to win, which is going to be
tough.
Near impossible because Mike Gesicki's. I mean, Gaskin. Gaskin's gonna get the ball almost like every other play because he's the running back. He's gonna get handoffs. He's gonna get catches. Gesicki's only gonna get catches, and he's a tight end. It's not like he's gonna be running routes every play. He's gonna be pass blocking some plays where they throw passes. So I'm gonna need 2 touchdowns and 80-something yards and 8 catches from him to win the game.
That's possible.
And Gaskin to do nothing. So we're rooting for Gesicki tonight, and then I'll push for the championship. So
okay. Now, what's the going on with the T word here? What's going on? We tried to buy you out.
It's gonna happen.
But what kind of scoundrels would have let us buy you out to put wreaths on veterans' graves? That's how personal is in the Arruda house.
Serious they taking that?
That's how serious they're taking it.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. You win some, you lose some. We have that famous picture of me with the championship. I mean, I had the championship. There's only, in the history of our league, 3 people that can say that they won the championship, and I'm one of them. And if things go right, it could still be 3 people because one of my cousins could win again, and I could still be in an elite group of 3 people out of 14 people, 16 people who've played in our league. So I'm still in an elite group, but the tutu is going to have to be worn, and it's going to be around the internet, and you guys are probably going to see some pictures of it, which is not great.
I hope not. I hope I don't see no pictures.
This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad, yeah.
Now, well, we will somehow, some way try to sabotage.
Try to manipulate this till it happens.
We have not yet begun to fight, right? 2 interesting things we talked about today, Rally, and 2 unbelievable tidbits that you came at. You had some interesting stats about the Giants and the Jets today. Listen to this.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks.
But hold on, let me set it up.
Yeah.
The greatest city in the world.
That's correct.
The financial capital of the world.
Yep.
Go big or go home, Big Apple.
Nothing bigger.
Right?
24 hours.
New York. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. The lights of Broadway. Okay? Okay, with big buildings and big bank accounts and big egos and big personalities. You got the Giants and the Jets. Go ahead, Riley.
So, I've been pushing this for a long time. I think the Giants are the worst team in the league. I really do believe that. And out of the last 4 years, no teams have lost more games than the Giants and the Jets, which is 26 games. They've lost 26 games in the last 4 years, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. They've won the least. They've won the least amount of games. They've won the least amount of games in the last 4 years. The Giants and the Jets.
Wow.
They've tied for the least amount of wins. So yeah, they're just.
That includes Jacksonville, Houston.
Even if you're a New York fan, I mean, unless you're Buffalo, it's not looking great for you right now.
The Jets, that doesn't surprise me. The Giants being in that category, I did not realize they were been that bad for the last 4 years.
You should be able to get free agents. You should, right, be able to. You should be able to get the best. Coaches. It's one of the greatest cities in the world.
Well, they used to. I mean, look at the coaches that were there years
Sure.
ago. You had Parcells on both of those teams, the Jets and the Giants. I mean, the Jets historically have had some bad coaches, but the Giants, I mean, they've just taken a nosedive and they've fallen like.
Who was the guy that the Jets hired that Miami fired?
Adam Gase.
Oh my God! What a terrible decision.
The list of Jets coaches is like a graveyard of guys that just.
But they had that blimp in like 2009, 2010 when they went to back-to-back AFC Championship games
with Rex Ryan.
Yeah, and then after that, it was just nothing again. Like Mark Sanchez was decent for those 2 years. I believe they beat the Patriots in the playoffs one of those years, right?
They did.
Yeah, and then after that, they just did nothing. Like they were just terrible again. I mean. It's just not gonna. I don't see them. I honestly don't see them coming up anytime soon. I don't think Zach Wilson can really help him. Like it's just something has to change, like the ownership or something. Because even trading away, like I think the one good trade that they did do, in my opinion, was trading away Jamal Adams and getting 2 first-round picks for him. Because now they have one of their picks, which is one of the worst in the league, because they're probably one of the worst
draft
teams in the
capital.
league. And then they also got the Seahawks pick, which was supposed to be like a playoff pick.
Yep.
But now it's also one of the worst picks in the league. So that's a really, really good pick. But knowing the Jets, historically, again, they're not great at drafting. They need to hit on both of these picks, and this is huge for them. So
they have three first-round picks or 2?
2 that I know of. One from themselves, obviously, and then one from the Seahawks, because they got maybe one next year from the Seahawks as well. But this year's, I know for a fact, is going to be another top 10 pick from the Seahawks. Maybe even top 5.
The 2 teams that are loading up with first-round picks because of trades that I saw were the Eagles and the Jets. So they got a lot of maneuverable room if anybody wants to move up. The problem is there's no franchise quarterback that anybody's going to trade a king's ransom.
Yeah, but the Jets have their quarterback. I mean, because the starting rookies usually get 3 years to start, and then they'll move on. And they're not going to get rid of him right now. This draft class is big into defensive ends, corners, safety, stuff like that. Yeah. So, I mean, if they need stuff like that, the Eagles could need they have their quarterback in Jalen Hurts. He's going to get another 2 years, maybe. Maybe this is the reason why they're loading up for this draft for defense. I don't know.
No.
I know the Cowboys had a good day yesterday, okay? And I don't want to gas them up any more than we're going to throughout the show. But I like the strategy they took last year with their draft, right?
Yeah, well,
they were bad on defense, and they said, we're going to spend every ounce of draft capital we have on the defensive side of the ball.
And they hit.
They
hit on Micah Parsons, who was an absolute. Looked like he's going to be absolute monster.
Yes.
But the Cowboys really had no choice. Their defense listed last year was one of the worst defenses in the history of the NFL. So they had. I mean, that was a smart move. Going all defense.
But it's very practical, isn't it? Okay, listen. We got potential stars on one side of the ball. Okay. Potential
top heavy on offense, correct.
You know what I mean? So let's spend every ounce of draft capital, okay, and go the other direction on the defensive side of the ball.
No, it works.
So if we go 50-50, at least we're plugging in 3 or 4 starters, right?
Was Diggs drafted last year, Riley?
Yes, I believe he was a rookie last year.
Draft with
not
Parsons.
This year, but no, Parsons was drafted this year. I'm talking about 2020 draft.
So he was the year before.
Yeah, he was the year before. This is his second year.
Okay. Your mother wants to know where your banner is.
I didn't have enough time to go get magnets today, but I'll get magnets and I'll bring them on Thursday.
Well, we gotta get some. We gotta get some BadCatz. I was thinking about spray painting. That Rainy Gandy, the serious artist, said that he would do it for me. But
BadCatz logo,
playing off that metallic a little bit. I'm not sure what we got to do, but we got to do something soon. But yep, we're all about the branding in this next quarter as we transition to a YouTube channel. So
2022.
2022. It's all about the YouTube. Riley also has some interesting things to say about the comeback player of the year, which many people would bequeath to Dak Prescott. But he says, hold up for a second here.
Hold your
another quarterback got hurt, and his name is
Joe Burrow. I believe, I've said it before, I think he's going to be the best young quarterback coming out of that draft, even better than Herbert. And I think other than Mahomes, he'll be right up there, top 3 for the next, 10, 15 years. This dude is phenomenal. He had one of the best games in NFL history yesterday. The whole year, he's been leading this Bengals team. At one point, they were the best team in the AFC. They're not the best right now, but they could win their first division title in 6 years. They can be making the playoffs for the first time in 6-7 years.
Something like that.
Turning the culture
And
around.
he's from Ohio.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's great. And coming off an ACL tear, Dak broke his leg. I think Dak makes a strong case because we don't really want to compare injuries, but Dak's injury was worse. Breaking your leg is a lot worse than tearing your ACL. But the only thing about Dak is that these last 5 or 6 games before this game against Washington, he was having not the best time. The defense was carrying them. He was having a little bit of a hiccup. Like, he wasn't throwing as well. And Burrow's just been constantly just putting up numbers. That offense has looked great. Jamar Chase, a big part of that reason is Burrow's getting him the ball. Higgins had a monster game. I mean, I just think they're firing on all cylinders. And for that team to be 8-6 or whatever they are right now, 9 and whatever, that many wins, about to win the division, it's crazy to me. I mean, with the Ravens being how good they were, that division is one of the hardest divisions in the league.
About a division that they probably would pick last in by most experts, you would think.
Yeah.
Probably them or the Steelers.
Steelers.
Because people come into the year saying Browns could win the Super Bowl. Browns can go to the Super Bowl. They got the best run got the best run attacks in the league. They got Odell and Jarvis Landry. So you got to remember, beginning of the year, people were thinking so different. But yes, and a lot of people were picking the Bengals to win like 4 or 5 games. They got another year. Jamar Chase wasn't the right pick. I said it too. He was not I don't think he was the right pick. Get him some protection. But they're just going bananas, and I would not. That's my team to root for the playoffs. I told you this when we were watching them. I said, if I wasn't a Broncos fan, oddly enough, I'd probably be a Bengals fan. I loved A.J. Green growing up. I loved Gio Bernard. I just love their uniforms for some reason. So that's my team rooting for once the Broncos just lose their game. So
which famous touchdown dance belonged to a running back from the Cincinnati Bengals?
Oh, that was Icky Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was called Icky Shuffle.
Icky Shuffle.
Do you remember how to do it? Do you remember how to do it?
No.
Do you want me to do with the regenerate
I'm
right now?
going to pass the torch to you.
Do you want me to do
the Icky Shuffle?
The Icky Shuffle right now. Can we get an appropriate camera angle on me, please?
Maybe
can we get an appropriate camera angle on me?
I know it was. Yeah, now, before we do this, I want to advise the viewers not to attempt this at home.
It's a little of this, right? This is how it goes.
Let me see if you got this.
This is my touchdown. This is my football.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay. The Icky Shuffle.
Boom.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, wow.
That was Icky Shuffle. And it became a national phenomenon.
3 steps.
A simple 3-step.
3-step to the left, 2-step to the right.
And a spike, and it became a national phenomenon.
It did that year because the Bengals went to the Super Bowl.
All time, nobody. Well, son of a bitch. Deion fucked that up again. Hold on.
The original gangster.
No.
OG.
No.
One man.
There's one person. There's one person who had
a
better touchdown celebrations than Deion.
The original. Who's the original OG touchdown dance?
Billy White Shoes Johnson. Without question.
That is correct.
Now he did some shit that I may.
Yeah, I don't.
Good luck. I try to do that. And then
Deion brought out the
Fred Astaire, right?
Yeah, the hop step, the Fred Astaire.
Yeah. So there we go. Birdie, what's good?
Nah, well, another wacky NFL week.
Yeah, we got all smile because you made money. I made money. Riley made money.
If you didn't make money betting NFL games this week, then you should never be betting anymore.
Except for the lovely Chargers. I love when the Chargers do bad, and they did horrendous this week.
The Chargers cost people a lot of money.
We were wise enough not to put them in with any of the parlays. So
minus 10.
The Chargers might have saved the bookies from having a complete meltdown Sunday.
It was minus 10 and a half.
That is what you call a tease buster.
Yeah.
So everybody who's got the Chargers in the tease.
Money line parlays.
I got it.
It wasn't even that they didn't cover. It was just they got blown out. Like the game was never even close. They lost to 41-29. Like it just wasn't even close. It was
close
just
for
terrible.
about a half, and then they got blown out in the second half.
Yeah, it was a terrible game. But I loved it because I hate the Chargers, and it gave me a little glimpse of hope that is now gone. But
so Christmas was good, Birdie.
Christmas
the food from Cynthia Purcell Costa, who's on our show right now.
That's correct.
There's something about hot 70-year-old women that watch our show. I can't figure it out. We got Riley's grandmother, and we got Cynthia Purcell Costa.
And a very, very shout out thank you for the hospitality and the food on Christmas Eve from both of those.
You missed the prime rib.
Oh, yeah, I know. Did you end up
Turkey
going back?
sandwiches, Cynthia. Please send turkey sandwiches. Here. Light mayo.
Yes.
Please send them. I haven't had a turkey sandwich like from
Stuffing and mayo, Thanksgiving style.
Yeah, I don't put the stuff in it.
With a little cranberry and mayo. That's the way you go.
I just get the turkey and the mayo and the salt and pepper.
Well, you can actually get one of those at Marzilli's. They give you like a Thanksgiving style too. Yeah.
But so says. So where did you spend your time? Lincoln, Foxwoods?
No, I was with you. Was it Friday night?
Yeah.
Saturday, I basically stood home, had some dinner. My sister come over. My niece came over that night.
The doctor.
No. She's stood in Louisville. My other niece who lives in Fall River. They came over, and then yesterday
how was that?
It was quiet. We had a little roast dinner, which was pretty good. Yeah.
Pot roast or
pot roast, traditional pot roast dinner, and then I was back at the.
Who cooked it? Your mother?
Yes, that is correct.
80 years old and still cooking dinner.
82 to be correct, and still
God
can
bless her.
cook. Yes, and then Sunday I was back at the House of Ill Repute, Tiverton. What's the official name of it? Sportsbook, whatever you want. Sportsbook, Rhode Island.
Oh, I thought you were in protest.
I did, but I was home all day Sunday, so I had to get out of the house Sunday night, so I went back there Sunday night.
Big Monday night football game tonight, fellas.
It is for 2.
I teased the balls off of the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
I teased them.
They have no more balls.
I teased them like you could have possibly, no.
You got value.
I got them in 4 active teases, Birdman.
Well, I hope you don't need the points. You can win outright then because...
No. I'll take it any way I can get it, baby.
To me, this game tonight is more important for Tua than it is for anything else tonight. This could be a signature game for him to elevate himself because, I mean, they're on a roll right now, and this is under the bright lights.
So you're not buying what I think is an absolute home run teasing the Saints.
No, you got the right value. You got 9 points at home. The
over 37 is questionable.
Well, think about the value you got. You're getting 9 points in a game that's been an over of 36 or 37 points in the game. You're getting 25% of what points might even be scored in the game. So that's a no-brainer right there.
Yeah.
Seriously, think about it that way, right? I mean, absolutely. But I'm just talking about this game from Tua's standpoint. This is a guy who got taken very highly in the draft, has had some injuries, and is finally starting to show signs of what we saw at Alabama of what was expected of him. But now he's under the bright lights tonight, and this is the big, as you would say.
They haven't seen a stage like this in a long time. And one of the loudest sports arenas in all of sports with a fan base that is maniacal. Okay? And it's do or die for both teams, essentially.
That's correct. Whoever loses tonight, you're pretty much on life support.
Do you know that the Saints actually try to get Breeze to sign a 10-day contract or something like that to come and play in this game?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
I did not
and
hear
Phillip
that.
Rivers.
Really?
Phillip Rivers. And Drew Brees just sent them like a tweet or whatever, and he was like playing golf. He's like, yeah, I'm all set. I'm happy where I am. But yeah, they did Phillip Rivers because they wanted both of the veterans there just for like a one game.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, and they both said no. I mean, it's just a bad situation. Simeon didn't look bad. He got hurt. And then Taysom Hill, like I said before, he'll win you games. They just keep the ball in his hands, rush it. He'll win you games, and they have been. They're still in the playoff hunt, but he gets COVID, so we're going to see what this dude's about. But didn't I hear that he has like one of the best win percentages in Notre Dame history? His rookie. Yeah. I thought so. And then but this is his first ever NFL game. We've seen college people come out.
4th round pick.
Yeah.
We've seen some backups play well.
And we've seen some backups play really, really bad. But
yeah, in games 2, 3, 4, or 5. Once they get the book on you, and no reference to Ian Book. It's a different book that we talk about here. All right. The Saints got 19 players with some of the COVID issues. COVID issues is reality of sports in 2000 for the last 2 years. And it's very much reality now. It cannot be ignored. It cannot be dismissed. You know what I mean? For all your YouTube scientists out there who are dismissive of this stuff, I've lost a handful of good friends of mine. Please stop with that. It is omnipresent in our society. Okay, I just got boosted the other day. Absolutely no ill effects. But COVID is an issue that we're gonna have to deal with. Jason Tatum, COVID, right?
They're shutting them down for 10 days.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah. And it's going to be that way in the NBA, the NHL, the NFL. How many college bowl games? The first college bowl game in Fenway Park's history was canceled due to COVID. How's that for an asterisk?
Wow.
How's that for an asterisk?
That sucks.
They've canceled 3 so far within the last week and a half. So, I mean, who knows how many more are going to get canceled?
One in Hawaii and one in Boston. Can you have two more different locales?
No, I don't believe
Two more
can.
different climates, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
correct.
crazy.
Two more different styles. And that's it.
At least the kids from Memphis got to go out there in Hawaii and enjoy Hawaii for a few days before the game got canceled, right?
They were out there already?
That's what I heard, yeah.
That's good.
They were already there, so the trip wasn't wasted.
I'm
They
with
did
it.
get to go out there.
Now, did the son of a bitches make them come home once the game got canceled?
That part I don't know. It comes to the
hope
NCAA.
not.
You know, that's probably what they did, but
That's some dirty shit if they did, if they made them come home. But it is what it is.
you got to try to navigate around it.
How crazy is this? Both of you guys talk to me. That, okay, is the COVID list more important than home field advantage in this playoff?
I would say yes right now. Look what happened in Washington last night. They had 8 starters on their defense that were off their defense last night. I mean, you're going to get buried in a game like that when you're missing 8 starters from your defense.
Especially when, like, say, like, one position, like we watched in the Bears game a couple weeks ago where their whole secondary was out. It makes sense why the whole secondary was out because you're doing, like, a secondary, like, film room. Like, all right, this is where he's going to throw the ball. Everyone pay attention. Like, all these positions do it. So if you get nailed down in that one position, like the whole defensive line, and they're doing, like, a line, like, practice or whatever, that whole line is out. Now you're rolling with the whole practice squad. They're just going to run down your throat or pass down your throat. So it is massive if COVID outbreaks into one position, because now that whole position you got to roll. It's not like it's like one dude where, like, okay, sure, it might be our second corner, but you can bring in one guy. You still have your best one. Where if it's every single person, you're really screwed.
The reality is, if you don't bubble up like the NBA did, this is what's going to happen.
That's 100% correct what you just said.
COVID could be the MVP of the Super Bowl. COVID could be the MVP of the Final Four. Okay? COVID could be the MVP of the Stanley Cup in the NBA playoffs.
Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, is so obsessed with winning another championship that he talked about putting his team into a bubble, just like you said, and right after the holidays right now so that they avoid any type of COVID outbreak. So it's not really a bad idea if you got that much money invested in your team. I mean,
no, of course not. But know what's going to happen? The NFL Players Association is going to grieve.
Going to shoot that down. Yeah,
they're going to grieve it.
Yeah.
Why would they?
Oh.
Why would they grieve it?
Because they will go toe-to-toe with anything that they want to have the power to dictate what goes on with their players. That's the way I see it.
And I'm not an anti-union guy, brother. Believe me, I appreciate what unions did. You know, my man Birdie's a proud member of Makufu, right?
Well, I was until you retire, yeah.
So,
but
it is what it is.
Yeah, the unions should pick and choose their battles there. That's not really a battle that they want to really...
But they're going to grieve it.
They would.
They're going to agree with it.
It's like you said.
They say away from the family, blah, blah, blah. No. So it is what it is. So the boogeyman in the building is COVID. Riley, you tired today, brother?
No.
No? I just looked at so you're taking a nap by now. It's the calm before the storm. So, okay. Let me ask you a question here, right? Let's talk about some of the significant players in Week 16. Cowboys, Dak Prescott, right? Unbelievable, 300 and some odd yards in the first half, 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
He was unbelievable. Joe Burrow.
Lighting the Ravens up. Yep.
Yeah, one of the best performances in recent history. I think it's the third most passing yards in a game that he threw. It was ridiculous.
And Prescott could have scored more. Now, let me ask you a question.
You had to pull Jack Prescott out of that game at halftime.
I totally disagree.
Really?
I'm gonna so you can chase a NFL record for one of the most prestigious positions in sports, the quarterback.
That's correct.
That has been there since 1969. You don't let your guy chase that record. All he needs is 203 yards, bro.
I'm not putting the record over a chance of my franchise quarterback getting hurt with a chance to go win the Super Bowl this year, Mike.
All right. So when do you break records?
They had 42-7 at the half, Mike. I mean, come on. Maybe 42-7.
What? That guy doesn't have a right. He busted his ass.
He's got a right to, but I also got to remember one thing: the Redskins are playing 8 defensive players that hadn't played all year. So I mean, I understand that.
So put a fucking asterisk. What does that have to do with Dak Prescott?
Yeah, I'm not saying it does, but Jerry Jones is not gonna risk.
Jerry Jones should have a so Jerry Jones is making that decision to get Prescott out of the game.
If I own the team, I am because I don't want to take a chance to get it. If you're losing 56-7 and you're still throwing the ball, you don't think a defensive team is going to take that personally at that point and try to take a cheap shot at you?
At what right does the player have a chance to go for history?
I think the right that Joe Burrow did. In that game, it was a lot closer than the Cowboys was. At halftime, this one was 31-14. So they're winning a pretty decent at halftime, but it's not hugely out of hand like it was 42-7. And Burrow was really close to breaking the record. And this game finished 41-21. And that's still not a close game, but it's only 3 scores. Where the Redskins game was like 5 scores, 6 scores,
49-7.
And that's why you should go to your law school, young brother. That you put the perfect counter argument in a game that is more competitive. That's exactly what I.
In a competitive game, just
and remember,
like that.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. We have to stimulate conversation on this show. So sometimes, you know what I mean. I'm not 100% in belief of that Prescott should have an opportunity to break record. However, I am somebody for getting everything out of the reps that you have, and I did not like how the Cowboys put it in first gear and saying off. An object in motion should stay in motion, especially professional sports.
Well, they do it in college. Pros, you don't see it as much because you're playing those teams twice a year, and they're going to remember that if you start running
the Redskins have a lot more to remember than that. They're going to get they're going to get a name for us.
So Joe Burrow threw 525, right?
Yeah.
And the record was 554. So he was only about 29 yards away from breaking the record, and that game was not that close. It was a lot closer than the Redskins game was. So I think to break it, you got to be in a game where both teams are scoring 40+ points. You know what I mean? Like if the Ravens kept that game closer and Lamar was there and the Ravens are at 37 and Burrow's throwing the ball even more, I think that's where you break it. Because even a game like this, they could have even pulled Burrow out a lot sooner and the game still would have been fine because you're up by almost 3 scores right there. So it was that. I think it's the right call, just to keep him safe, even though because he had an injury history last year of breaking his leg. You don't want to see anything freak happen again on something that you could say.
So what if next week it's Tom Brady? Do you keep him safe?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you're 1 week away from the end of the regular season. I would think so.
I think
for a chance to go to the Super Bowl, not a guaranteed ticket. Wow. You could go down in history.
We know one thing: when any of those teams bring a backup into the playoffs, they're not going to the Super Bowl. We know that much.
We hear you, but injuries can happen.
Unless it's Nick Foles, because Nick Foles did it somehow, and we have no idea how because he looks terrible now. But the Bears did sneak a win where they were trying to give the game away. If anybody watched that game, I was watching it just because it was on Red Zone, and I was trying to watch the Broncos game, and they kept putting that game on, even though I had no playoff whatever. And they kept
ramifications.
Yeah, and the Bears kept trying to give that game away. A 4th down, they would go for it. They would miss it. In the red zone, they score. There's like a minute left. They go for 2. They get it somehow where the dude's 2 feet landing before his hand, and it was just an ugly game to watch. It was just an absolute mess.
So has Nick Foles been on the injured list all year?
He just hasn't been playing because he was the 3rd string. No.
There's the part I don't understand. You've had Fields, who's obviously could be a good quarterback, but he's not ready. And then you've had Dalton.
Exactly.
So why, if this Foles, who we know is a proven commodity, has been sitting on the bench all year without playing ahead of these other two guys?
I don't know.
That makes no sense
I
to
couldn't
me.
tell you either. I mean, he got his chance last year. They drafted a younger dude. I don't know.
I thought maybe he had been injured, but maybe not.
It's just the Bears are another one that needs to be revamped completely.
Wow.
Fire Nagy like this
They
instant.
get a big win yesterday. That's a big win for them.
But out of what though? Like you get a big win and you're.
I'm not saying don't fire Nagy.
No. I'm saying like sure that's a good win because they need to get wins, but it's the wrong time. Like they're already out of the playoffs. There's not even like a slight chance where you're like, well, we have a chance. Just keep trying to lose, get the better pick.
You have to put the building blocks in place and make sure the foundation's out. So a win like that for a young team on the road, I think is
it's a terrible loss for the Seahawks, though.
Terrible loss.
Well, Russell Wilson's out of there at the end. He's
hey,
already
Russell Wilson, we have a nice warm blanket ready for you in Denver. Come over here. We'll beat the Chiefs for the division championship, and I actually believe that, and we'll be doing pretty good with you.
Antonio Brown comes.
My man.
Now, tell me this guy is not a freak of nature. He's so fucked up. It's impossible. The levels of. It's almost like a Saturday Night Live skit. Did you hear his press conference?
No, I didn't hear any of this.
When they asked about the fake vax card and how hilarious he was.
Okay, what was his response? Was he making jokes
we ain't
about
gonna be talking about that no more. We ain't gonna be talking about that no more.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I wouldn't answer the questions either for them to.
We talk about Carolina today.
The media's trying to taunt him and say something, out
So
of character.
he lost around $300,000 for missing those games, right? And coming into these next two games, he needs to get like 2 more touchdowns to get $333,000.
And they'll get him.
Yeah, a couple. He needs like 300 yards to get another $333,000, and then he needs like 22 catches to get another $333,000. So he can make back his money, and then he can make even more money. So I think Brady's gonna look for him like crazy. So if anybody has Antonio Brown in fantasy, you have to start him. Have to start him.
11 catches yesterday. I don't know how many targets.
Yeah,
because I didn't see the game. He
had
13. Over
100
and 120 yards receiving, maybe.
It was 160. I thought I saw.
Maybe more than that, and maybe a touchdown. I guess I don't know. I'm guessing, but I mean, after missing 3 weeks, so I mean, they're not. As far as receivers go, they're not going to miss a beat as long as they got him in the lineup.
Yeah, but they need Evans back. Evans been
the guy they need back is Fournette, and when the playoffs come, they're going to need Fournette. That's going to be the key to them.
I would rather have Antonio Brown than Mike Evans and Goodwin. And I watch Tampa Bay religiously. Tell me I'm crazy, Riley.
No, because
I do. I really do, because I think Godwin is a safety net. At this point in his career.
Too many drops.
Yeah, but I think at this point in his career, I think Godwin is better than Antonio Brown right now. Not ever, because I think Antonio Brown was an amazing best receiver.
So you think Antonio Brown with Tom Brady, you think that Goodwin's going to be more effective than Antonio Brown in a big game? No way.
Yes, I think last year was not that great because he broke his finger and he was running around with like a thing like this where he had like 3 fingers, I guess, and on one hand, and that's impossible to play as a receiver. But if you look at his stats with Jameis Winston the year before, he was one of the best, if not the best receivers in the league that year. Sure. And then this year, even his numbers this year have been really, really good up until he tore his ACL, and it's been quietly a really, really good year for him. I'm not gonna say if like one of them wants to come to my team, I'm not gonna be like mad. I get either one, but I just think Godwin is so young. He has so much potential to grow, and he's even really good right now.
Godwin will put up better numbers than Antonio Brown at this point in his career. But Tom Brady, there's 2 things that Tom Brady will trust Antonio Brown.
A route runner.
He's the best route runner that Tom Brady's ever had.
In the NFL.
And Antonio Brown doesn't fumble the ball or drop.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got Chris Godwin's stats right here. This is before this game. He had 98 catches, already hit 1,103 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Let's get his stats in the Super Bowl compared to Aaron Brown's.
Antonio Brown's in
the Super Bowl last year. The health of Rob,
the whole playoffs.
The health of Rob Gronkowski and the availability of Tony Brown. You can take Mike Evans and take and Goodwin. It's more important that Gronk is healthy and Brown is active, and that's my opinion on that.
I would have to agree. But I would agree with you. But the one thing about Tom Brady, though, if you're open, he's going to throw you the ball no matter who it is. So, as we saw in the playoffs last year with Scotty Miller,
is the Big Ben era in Pittsburgh done?
Yeah,
I would say so.
All right, give me 3 adjectives to describe Ben Roethlisberger.
I'll give you 3 words.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame quarterback.
Hard to watch. I mean, it's hard to watch like a player that you've grown up watching as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, top 3 consistently, and now he just can barely get the ball 25 yards down the field. It's like, I hope, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I hope to not see him play next year. I just hope the best for him, but it's just like hard to watch when that team could be so much better if they had a more competitive player.
You want to take Ben Roethlisberger to be a starting quarterback for Denver
Absolutely
right now?
not. No chance. Absolutely not. I'd rather have Drew Lock, and I hate Drew Lock. I wouldn't want him.
I mean, he's right now probably in the same category that Peyton Manning was in his last year.
That's what I completely agree. I 100% agree. I think
Peyton was, the cliff had come. He couldn't throw the deep ball. He didn't have the accuracy, but he was just hanging on at the end, and that's kind of.
I think Peyton was a little better.
And how'd that make out for the Broncos?
Yes, but that's the thing. That's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. He just needed to make 1 or 2 throws, and I still don't think Ben can. I don't know. I just don't think that Ben can do that right now. It's tough because even when he moves outside the pocket, he's so slow. Doesn't have it on the run. And their offensive line. That's another thing.
Who would ever thought
him.
that Brady would be a better scrambler at the end of their career than Roethlisberger would be?
No, I wouldn't have.
No, right?
No, Big Ben used to be able to move when he was younger, but he's like a shooting gallery duck now, and in the pocket when they collapse on him. So,
Chargers,
the roller coaster.
Terrible loss again.
Yay!
What's the problem?
Did you ever go to Lincoln Park when you were a kid, Mike?
Yes, I did.
You ever ride the roller coaster at Lincoln Park?
Yes, I did. I like 19 times in a row.
That's the best way to describe the LA Chargers this year. It's the roller coaster.
Yeah, but no,
ride.
It's not, Birdie, because the way the Chargers roller coaster, that's Space Mountain. That's a brand new, flashy, fat, speedy, long hair, West Coast, cooled out. The roller coaster at Lincoln Park was terrifying, old and crickety, and you would look over the edge and see rotted wood.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Anything else. All right, 7 questions.
Here we go.
What do you got for me, Riley?
Number 4.
Number 4. What do we know about the Patriots right now? Are they a playoff team? Can they win a game in the playoffs? Can they win 2? What do we know about the Patriots?
So, I think another roller coaster. I think as soon as they start to not have a lead, I think that's where their problem lies, because they need to establish the run, and it's hard to do that when you're trailing, especially when, as soon as I was watching the game and they were down 17-7, I told myself, I believe this game is over, because it's so hard with the weapons that they have to come back. Like we talked about N'Keal Harry, we talked about, we haven't yet, but Aguilar, Jacoby Myers, none of those guys are a wide receiver 1. At best, they're a wide receiver 2. If they go out next year and sign, I know this probably won't happen, but Devontae Adams, Allen Robinson, or go get another stud receiver, then we can talk. It's just, for me, it's so hard when Mac doesn't have that much help on the outside. They have the running backs, but like I said, once they get the lead, then I'll be confident in them because they have the defense, they have the running backs to keep the lead. But once they get behind and they let a team score one time, it's tough for them to get back. So it's going to be tough for them to play in the playoffs. If they get a home game, I wouldn't bet against them just because it's New England. They got a really good crowd, the best coach of all time. But if they're playing on the road, let's say at
so you guys are sticking with the best coach of all time?
I still think so. Yes.
Okay.
To me, I don't even think it's a question. I think to see what he's done with.
How about him, Chuck Noll?
How many Super Bowls does he have? 8 right now.
We're not going by Super. We're just talking.
I know, but I'm saying, but we do Super Bowls.
Yeah, I know.
We do Super Bowls. We do Super Bowls when we go Tom Brady. We do Super Bowls. We do championships about Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Super Bowls. He's got like 8 of them. I mean, including coordinators.
Sure.
And he played a big part in the Giants ones. But I just think the Patriots is good. Maybe not this year.
Not in Cleveland.
No, but Cleveland. I mean,
and he'll never see a Super Bowl. He's not going to see a Super Bowl again.
I think he will. I think he will. I think Mac has shown it.
Let me ask you a question: If Tom Brady.
What?
If Tom Brady was a quarterback of the Patriots this year,
I still wouldn't think they would. No, because I don't think they have enough weapons. I don't think
the best offensive line, probably, right?
That they've seen in a long time.
That they've seen in a long time. They can run the ball. I mean,
so what team? All right, so let's say
Kansas City.
No. I'm gonna give you a question. Let's say Tom Brady. This is impossible, obviously, but let's say Tom Brady played for the Buccaneers and the Patriots at the same time, right?
Yeah.
What team is better? If they both had the same type of quarterback, okay, and I still don't think Tampa Bay's going to win the Super Bowl, and that's my point. I don't think that Tom Brady can help that. I just think they need weapons. And yes, Tom Brady's going to give him a way better chance than Mac Jones will. I'm not going to argue that. I'm just saying I don't think they have enough weapons to win the Super Bowl, because every time they won with Brady,
what about his ability to make chicken soup out of chicken shit?
Yes,
like
I agree.
For years.
But not the last year he was there for against Tennessee.
Sure,
they had around the same weapons.
They were dysfunctional. You know what I mean?
They had around the same weapons.
He was pissed. He's rejuvenated. I know one thing right now. I like the Patriots' chances going into Arrowhead to upset Mahomes with Tom Brady as their quarterback as opposed to Mac Jones.
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
You know what I mean?
The Patriots are going to make the playoffs. You're playing Jacksonville at home this week. The Patriots' problem that I saw yesterday, I mean, Mac Jones didn't have a good game, but your defense kind of looked real bad yesterday.
Sure.
You got lit up for 33, and you let a backup wide receiver who pretty much is just a secondary player absolutely destroy you. Had no answer for that guy, Isaiah McKenzie.
He used to play for the Broncos, punt returner.
I'd be more concerned about what happened to their defense yesterday more than anything else. I mean,
and Judon just went onto COVID list today, I believe, as well.
They can survive a week if they're playing Jacksonville without him.
Yeah, for sure. I forgot they're playing Jacksonville.
The other problem,
very careful on any given Sunday in the National Football League, fellas.
I just can't see it at home.
It's a bye week. They got 2 bye weeks this year.
I agree exactly 100% on what you said. The Patriots are not built to come from behind. Here's the problem with the Patriots. For them to come from behind, which they did yesterday, to try to keep pace with Buffalo. But it's not Mahomes, it's not Brady, it's not Rodgers. 3 plays a minute and then you're in the end zone. It's 7 to 10 plays, 6, 7, 8 minutes off
shooting
the clock.
themselves in the foot,
and that makes it harder for you to keep doing that every drive to come back. And that's the biggest problem with the Patriots. They have to play with the lead, or at least even otherwise they're going to be have a problem in the playoffs. So.
Okay, next question, Birdie, pick.
What was that? 4? We'll go with number 7.
Will we see the analytics dominated decisions, such as Jim Harbaugh's 2-2-point conversions to cost the team 2 wins in playoff games in the National Football League?
Of course we will, because these coaches just feel like that. Some of them feel like this.
No, I disagree.
You don't think you're going to see it in any playoff games?
I think you'll see it, but not to that level.
Well, maybe not to that level, but
we did to even higher level last year. Though.
I think the analytical pussy nerd don't have the balls to do it with the bright lights around them.
Well, we've seen it in the playoffs. I saw Harbaugh do it 2 years ago during Lamar's MVP season at midfield on a 4th down, and it pretty much cost them all the momentum, swung the whole game around. So
how about last year? Analytics, right? NFC Championship game.
Bingo.
Kick a field goal instead of giving Aaron Rodgers another chance.
The Aaron Rodgers.
Which made no sense, but that was just the analytics.
No, he punted it.
No, the one at the end of the game, he kicked the field goal instead of and then
gave the ball back
and kicking off to Brady.
Yeah.
If you just go for it and you miss, right? You're giving the ball back to Brady, but now you're at the 2-yard line, and when you kick the field goal, all it did was change the game from 8 to 5. So it's not making a 1-possession game. So that one made no sense to me. So that one was a little weird. Same thing there. It's analytics. I think it's just going to stay. It depends on the coach. Old school coaches, I don't think Belichick would do it, but somebody who wants to go for the wins and be ballsy.
When do the variables that they can't account for come into it? The confidence, the leadership skills, practicing it during the week.
The trust in you.
The trust in the
trust in your defense,
okay?
too.
The guys that make up and step up and make big plays. You know? Is somebody going to be Jackie Jensen?
Well, I'll tell you what. You go and lose a playoff game because of a stupid play like we've seen, like we've seen McCarthy do this year, and there'll be ramifications to it. I can tell you that much.
You mean,
or with the way the owners are thinking, maybe there'll be ramifications for the guy who doesn't use the analytics and loses the game.
Loses the game, yeah.
That's what I foresee happening.
That's definitely possible.
Just as much. So you guys will say you'll see it. I'm saying you won't see it as much. Yeah. Next question.
2.
Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Baker Mayfield? Who is the new king of the AFC North now that Big Ben is gone?
Wow.
Definitely not Baker.
Wow, that's tough. Yeah, it's definitely not Baker. Based on what we've seen this year,
they're going to keep Baker.
No, I don't think so.
They're going to keep.
I think Baker. As much as I don't like Big Ben, I think Baker's the worst quarterback in that division. I really do. He's terrible. If they kept that ball on the floor the whole game, I think the Browns could beat the Packers. They were averaging like 7-8 yards a run, and they kept giving the ball back to Sin, and every time he threw it, it felt like it was an interception. Just chucking it over the top to nobody, throwing it in the end zone. Like, it was terrible, terrible picks, and I don't think he's that good at all. But for me, it's between Lamar and Joe Burrow. I won't complain with either one, but I'll take Lamar just because, as much as I love Joe Burrow, I think it's so close. Lamar's won MVP before. He's shown it. They went 14-2. They dominated a season. He won a playoff game before. Burrow's never made it to the playoffs, and he could still get bounced out right now, but they're both amazing.
Yeah, if I'm gonna take one guy, if Joe Burrow looks like they're gonna win the division and he wins a playoff game this year, I'm gonna have to go with Joe Burrow because I've just seen Lamar mess up too many big games
and be limited with his accuracy. Joe Burrow's is tomorrow's news, and this is the tomorrow question. I like Valley's point. He hasn't climbed the mountains that Lamar Jackson has. He's got a way to go. But he's
getting close.
He hasn't had that significant 14-2 year when you go wide a while. Riley made some great points. But with this prospecting, I'm betting on the future. I'm going to bet with him. Next, so 2 and 4 have been answered. Next up, go ahead.
Number one.
The Dallas Cowboys. Are they as good as they played last night?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You have beaten in the last 3 weeks a decimated Redskin team on 2 occasions, and what Riley Arruda just said might be the worst team in football, the New York Giants. Prior to those 3 games, you lost on Thanksgiving at home to the Raiders, got destroyed by the Broncos.
I don't know how.
And then also went into Kansas City and got smacked around by the Chiefs.
I'm with you,
So
Birdie.
let's not get crazy here. They lit up those 3 teams, which you're supposed to do.
Their defense is healthy. They're on fire.
And their defense is playing
back,
well.
baby. How about them Cowboys, Birdie?
Let's see what they do with Arizona this week, a team that's desperate for a win. And I'll leave it at that.
They've had some ugly losses, and I think there have been some ugly losses. Like the Chiefs one, ugly loss. The Broncos one, I think, was the ugliest one. Not just because I'm a Broncos fan, but they were destroyed that game. In the game, they should have destroyed the Broncos. Broncos are not even going to make the playoffs. They lost to the Raiders, who might not even make the playoffs as well.
Will the real Dallas Cowboys please stand up? What was the name of that TV show back in the day, Birdie?
To tell the truth.
To tell the truth. Will the real Dallas Cowboys please stand up?
As far as Micah Parsons goes, this kid is the real deal.
So's Diggs.
And so's
the lineman that had the touchdown.
But let's pull it in a little bit here. They're showing a picture of Micah Parsons up there with who on the left side making comparisons with? Lawrence Taylor? That's a little early for that, if you ask me.
Did you hear what Micah Parsons said about those comparisons?
And what was his response?
I think I got 133 sacks to go, so let's see that for a few years.
I like that. I like that response.
Okay, let's segue into the
Number
next
3.
Number 3. We talked about the Arizona Cardinals playing the Cowboys. Are the Arizona Cardinals done?
Yeah, I agree.
Wow,
I think so.
What a fall from grace. I'll tell you what really disturbed me in that game was you're 16 weeks into the season Saturday, and you have 11 penalties for over 100 yards in penalties. And then you can't even snap the ball to get to your quarterback. And 2 times you have a safety. And then the second one was almost another 15, 20 yards. They're just making fundamental mistakes that they have to clean up real quick, or they're going to,
Are they done, Birdie?
They're going to get in the playoffs because they got 10 wins. But
killing a cardinal is illegal in this country.
I think they're done.
Are you ready to kill a cardinal?
I'll tell you exactly why I think they're done.
I won't say they're done yet because DeAndre Hopkins has been out and they're going to get him back for the playoffs.
But he just had surgery. He literally just had surgery. I don't think he's going to be back in time. They said that he'd be back at quickest NFC Championship game. And listen, they're going to finish as the best wildcard team. So that puts them at number 5. So they're going to have to play number 4. Do you know who number 4 is going to be?
It's either going to be
either the Rams or the Bucks.
Tampa.
You're telling me you're not going to take the Bucks over the Cardinals?
No, I'm not
saying
saying that.
You're telling me you're not going to take the Rams? Last time they played, they beat them, and it was with Hopkins. I don't think they're as good as they were in the beginning of the season. Too many injuries. James Conner just got hurt. J.J. Watt's done for the year. Hopkins is not going to be back for a long time. I think they're a one and done. They're going to get a tough team. And it could even be the Cowboys, because if the Cowboys lose a couple games, they're going to slip up.
One and done is a successful year for the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, what you're seeing here is...
Yes and no, because coming into the beginning of the year, if you told me they're going to make the playoffs, I'd be like, okay, that's good for them. Yeah. But to start off as the only undefeated team at like 9-0, whatever they were, to be 11-2, and then to be one and done, your hopes went from here... all the way up here,
young brother,
and now you land down there?
They've been saying this for a long time. Water will find its level.
Where did you see this last year? What team did this last year?
The Steelers.
Bingo.
The Steelers.
11-0, and then they went, and then they got bounced right out of the first round. That's what it looks like.
What question are we at now?
Number 5, I believe.
Oh, we're going to 5. Are the Chiefs the best team in the National Football League right now?
Second best.
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. They're the best team in the AFC, but I'd take 2 or 3 teams in the NFC ahead of them right now.
Really, name them, please. For
the Packers, obviously.
Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Thank you.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if they're fully healthy. This is the way I see it.
So you would take the Rams over the Chiefs
right now. I'm seeing from the Rams,
you're absolutely bugging.
Yes,
you are bugging.
Oh,
if I knew you were the man of God, Birdie, I would swear to God you were high as a kite.
I've been wrong before, but I'm going by what my eyes tell me right now. So
I think that Chiefs win was huge. I mean, not just because like the defense held the Steelers to like no points, which whatever, the Steelers offense isn't the best. But they put up so many points against one of the best defenses in the league, and it looks like their offense is back without Kelsey, and it's just something scary to see. Like if that defense starts clicking like it is right now, and the offense starts clicking like it just did,
the heart and soul
who's gonna stop them?
The heart and soul of that defense, the Honey Badger, is injured with a hamstring. Not a good time of year to get a hamstring.
But they can just shut him down for the rest of the year. So if they shut him down for
an appropriate
next 2
time,
weeks, yeah.
So 2 weeks from
and then they can get the bye. That'd be 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
By then he could be fully healthy.
And they're going to send him out to one of the cold stadium in Kansas City.
You have to, though.
32-degree weather, and you're going to play with a hamstring in 32-degree weather.
That's better. That's better than I think sending him out a week early against the Broncos, week 18, a game that doesn't matter.
Nah, he's not playing week 18.
That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. Like if they win this next week, right? I believe Mahomes will probably sit against the Broncos. I think all the starters will probably sit because that game to the Broncos will mean nothing. And by then, I think that game, they might play like 1 or 2 quarters just to get their arms going and whatever. But they should be fine, which sucks. But I think they're the second best team. I think they're right behind the Packers for me.
Next question. Is this the year that the man, the myth, the enigma, Aaron Rodgers, goes to another Super Bowl?
I've been right.
And will he make his mother and father and his brothers pay to go?
We don't know the answer to that question.
Is this the year?
I've been riding the Packers all year.
So have I. They made me money, of course.
I can't go against them right now, although I do not like what I've seen out of them the last 2 weeks. They're kind of sleepwalking in these games.
Is this the year, Birdie?
I've been saying yes all year, so I'm not going to change my
You're not going to change?
Nope.
So Tom Brady
it goes into
Lambeau. And Aaron Rodgers sends Tom Brady home.
I believe that's correct.
Can you look the camera in the eye?
That's correct. I've been saying it all year.
Say it again, one more time.
This is Aaron Rodgers' year. That's correct.
Okay, so he's going to beat Tom Brady.
That is correct.
Okay.
This is the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan right here, and out of us three, and I don't want to say it yet because I've seen this too many times. They're 15-1. They lose to a wild card Giants. They go to Arizona, double overtime game. They lose that one to Hail Marys. Last year, they're number 1 seed. First time he gets an NFC Championship game at Lambeau, they lose that. I don't want to talk too early, but I believe this is one of the best teams he's had defensive wise, and he has the best weapon in the league.
And let me tell you something. And I'm busting Birdie's balls, and I'm busting everybody's balls. He's not going to beat Tom Brady, but he should be, I would say, the runaway MVP this year.
I agree.
If you took Brady's age out of the equation and him doing it with the new team, which gives it added weight, even though it's his second year, if you just looked off the eye tests, the guy's a machine. But let me tell you something. We've been down that road before. Birdie, it's like the girl that keeps letting you get to third base, right?
And you're not going to let you go all the way.
She's not going to let you go all the way.
Oh.
You know what?
Birdie.
I'm going out on a limb here. The Green Bay Packers are going to be the Super Bowl champions this year.
Oh, you're not a big limp.
I know,
You're
but
very,
I'm
very, very
rolling
big
with Birdie. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm going to say it just.
Birdie, we're in
dig my heels in.
Pool or something.
Pool, yeah.
I don't know what the dynamics of that were that you.
I transferred your Christmas bonus over to that. You cool with that?
Nah, no problem with that whatsoever.
All right. And something about touches too.
Yeah, a surrounding. It's a squares pool, and then if whoever wins, if we're on the square that touches the square that wins, you get partial money. Yeah.
I know it's not a big limb, but I don't like to say it because I know if I'm wrong, which I probably will be.
We discussed
then it's going to be bad.
The last time we were here that
We're
Aaron Rodgers has no
next...
excuse. He has no excuse this year.
There is an excuse, and it's the foot.
Yeah.
I mean,
unless they get decimated with COVID,
the foot can be an excuse. But I don't.
No, because there's too big of a gap in the resume.
Yeah, especially
if he was applying to corporate America and says, young man, if you said you're the best analyst and you're the best this, I would say.
Well, they're going to have home field too, so that's the reason why there's no excuse.
If they don't lose, because Tampa Bay's got a pretty easy schedule coming up, so they're not going to lose. So if the Packers lose one, which they got the Vikings, which they could lose this game because they did lose to them last time, and I think the last game could be the Lions.
That's correct.
So they're probably not going to lose that one. But if they lose this one, and Tampa Bay just wins out, they could lose number 1 seed, and that would be rough. But I don't know.
What if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get to a Super Bowl this year? Are you going to say the same thing next year? Birdie?
No, I told you already. I said if Aaron Rodgers has home field and he can't make it to the Super Bowl this year,
you're done.
Then he should retire because he's never going to, or move on because he's never going to beat these guys. I mean, what is it going to take for him to get to a Super Bowl? Either he's going to be leaving Green Bay or he should retire because, I mean, how many...
You know they're talking about him going potentially, which I thought was fascinating? The Pittsburgh Steelers.
And it makes sense.
Really?
Yeah, they got really good wide receiver weapons with Claypool and Deontay Johnson.
You want to talk about energizing that fan base?
He's going to be taking well, unless the Steelers open up the bank, they don't give big contracts out in Pittsburgh. So
but listen, if you're the Steelers, right, and you get Aaron Rodgers with that one of the best defenses in the league, a really good rookie running back who's been really good this year, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, that's a really, really good team that easily becomes a top 4 team in the NFL.
What about the offensive line?
That's fine, though. You can go out and draft one guy. You can go out and maybe sign one.
You have to shore that up real quick.
But with that defense and those players...
We need sound effects. We need the Wall Street bell. Can we ring the Wall Street bell? Because this is called buy and sell. Now, the premise is this. Are you buying these teams to win at least one playoff game? Can we get a bell back there?
Ding, ding.
Bing, bing, bing. No, how they do it?
I'll bring an extra.
How they do bing, 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 bing. Okay.
Getting hit with a left hook.
Here we go. Buy or sell winning one playoff game. The Dallas Cowboys. Buying.
Depends who they play.
It all depends on the
No, it doesn't work. Game don't work that way.
I'm going to sell then.
I'm going to sell as well.
You guys, I
selling.
Listen, did you watch the fucking game I watched last night?
That's correct.
Yes, and the Redskins will not be making the playoffs. Breaking news.
That's correct. Neither will the New York Giants.
And neither will the Broncos, who they lost to as well. I just too many bad losses.
Will the Buffalo Bills win a playoff game? Buy or sell?
I'll buy that all day long.
You're buying it all day long?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll buy that. After what I saw yesterday.
Selling it. Arizona Cardinals. Buy or sell? Do they win a playoff game?
So
not what I'm seeing right now. So
the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that on a low.
Sell.
I'm gonna sell because they're a mirror image of the Chargers. Those two teams.
Tennessee Titans.
They get Derrick Henry back. Yeah.
Birdie, game don't play that way, bro. Buy or sell. Buy. I'm buying the culture.
I'm selling even with Derrick Henry.
They're supposed to get Derrick Henry back, and so I'm going to buy. Yeah.
Selling even with Derrick Henry.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
They won't even make it.
Not
that's my answer.
In the playoffs.
So sell?
Yeah,
they won't even make the playoffs.
The LA Rams.
Buying all day long.
Sell.
Sure, good.
So you know that they're going to face either the Eagles or 49ers?
No, that's okay. Sell. Yeah. Patriots. Buy or sell to win a playoff game.
If they play Cincinnati, they're gonna.
No, they won't. They'll probably. So they could play Cincinnati. They'll probably break down because they'll be the highest team.
They might see Buffalo again.
No, they'll probably. It probably will be the AFC North team that makes it. If they don't win the division, it'll be the AFC North team that wins the division. So they'll either play.
I'd like to see that matchup again for a third time. Them go up to Buffalo again. I really would.
I'll sell that.
Buy or sell?
I'll sell that.
I can give them one win, but that's about it as a wild card.
So that's a buy.
I'll sell that.
I'll give them one win.
Love it, Birdie. Love it.
Just one though.
Ravens, sell now.
Yeah, they're not. They might not even get in the
and tell me, look at the asshole coach who went for two on fourth down.
Yeah, well, they're playing
That's the reason why.
They're playing the Rams this week, so that might be the end of them.
I'll buy that. I think Lamar coming back at the right time.
You better play this week.
The San Diego Chargers win the playoff game. Buying it! I'm buying it!
Bring up their schedule for the next 2 weeks.
I'm
Yeah, they got the Broncos and then the Raiders, I
Too
believe.
much talent.
All right, they're gonna get in. Then.
I'm buying.
Yeah, they're gonna get in.
I'm buying the Chargers.
They might even lose this week.
Yeah, but you got to realize they had Eckler was out this week, so was Mike Williams. But that's no excuse for their defense giving up 40 points in that game.
Yeah,
I got a new nickname
that team against
for their quarterback. You know what I'm going to call him? Spicoli.
Sunshine.
No, Sunshine.
Oh, that's from the movie, right?
Mine's from the movie too. Remember the Titans.
Absolutely. Power rankings.
Oh, here we go.
We're got a minute to do it.
7-1, right? We're gonna do it. So go to the worst to the best.
Number 7,
You got yours?
the Buffalo Bills. Number 6.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Whoa.
I can tell you right off the top of my head.
Don't be stealing my thunder. This is my segment. We gotta wait for my
All right,
cue
we'll let
there,
you go
bro.
first then.
You gotta wait for my fucking cue there, Bird, man.
All right.
This is a rough week right now.
God damn! Okay. Number 7.
Yep.
I got the Rams.
I got the Buffalo Bills. After that big win, they'll put them back into
Really?
Yep. Contention.
What do you got?
I got the Cowboys at 7.
Cowboys at 7. Number 6, I got Tennessee.
I could flip-flop either Tennessee or Indy, so yeah.
I have Tennessee and Indy at 5 and 6
That's
as well.
exactly what I was going to go that route.
I have Tennessee.
I agree
at 5 and 6 as
100%
well.
with that, yes.
What do you have?
Number 6, I have the Colts.
All right, so all right. And number 5, what do you got?
I have the Rams.
All right. So we're pretty much in tune.
Yep.
Number 4, I got. How about them boys?
No, I don't even have Cowboys in my top 7.
No, I
don't. Seriously, I got the Kansas City Chiefs at number 4.
I got the
number 4.
I told you I said I got 3 NFC teams ahead of them.
I got the
them at
Bucks
4.
at number 4.
I got the Cowboys at 4. I got the Bucks at 3.
I got the Bills at
Yes,
3.
you got. Wow.
I
I
got
got the Bucks at 3.
got
I'm the biggest Tom Brady fan in the world.
I didn't drop the Bucks.
The best 2 teams in football are the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
No.
That's what it's what it is.
No, I disagree. I got the LA Rams.
I like you two can
Flexible.
Be
flexible.
Detoxify my stuff from my fandom.
Well, I didn't move.
I'm looking at it logically.
But I didn't move Tampa Bay.
I did look at it logically. I have the Chiefs at number 2, and I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I have them at number 2. I don't want the Chiefs to win at all, but I think they're going to win the AFC again.
From what I'm seeing from at number 3,
But if Tampa was undefeated, you wouldn't have them at number 2.
Yes, I would. I definitely would. They have so many injuries right now. That's why I have them low. Shaquille Barrett just got hurt. Leonard Fournette got hurt. Chris Godwin got hurt. A team like that losing 3 of their key guys, I can't put them any higher.
Yeah, as long as they'll be back for the playoffs.
Yeah, but
they'll be
okay,
all right.
Godwin's not going to be back for the playoffs, and I think that's a huge hit, and people really don't understand how big of a hit that is.
I watch every Tampa Bay game.
I really.
That motherfucker drops more balls.
No, but
boom. I don't want to say I'm glad he's on the injury list. I'm just glad
they can get by
I'm just
without
glad that
him.
Antonio Brown's going to be the number 1 option.
Fournette's the guy they cannot afford to lose.
You're right. They need to win games for too.
So I got what I'm seeing from the Rams right now. That talent is starting to gel. So I moved the Rams up to number 3.
So what do you have the Bucks at?
I have the Bucks at 2 behind Green Bay.
Really?
Yeah.
I have the Chiefs at number 2 and the Packers number 1.
One thing I said I did not like Tampa's defense. I'm never going against Tom Brady unless it's, I've seen it too many times. And until Green Bay, the last couple of weeks is sleepwalking through these games.
Let me ask you a question. Does Tom Brady lose a minute of sleep before a game, the NFC final at Lambeau?
No, because his resume's already... He's made his resume.
So he doesn't use a minute of sleep. Riley?
I don't believe he does. He's done this too many times, Mike.
Yeah,
he's been through this too many times. It's like the old gang.
If you put a monitor on his blood pressure, is there going to be an uptick in activity with Tom Brady the night before the game? Riley?
I don't know. It's just... probably not, because he did it before last year. I mean, why not do it again? We're talking about the greatest of all time. Like, anything can happen twice.
Now, is Aaron Rodgers going to miss an ounce of sleep before that game?
He's going to be thinking about it. That game's going to be reviewed in his mind going into that game. It has to be, because...
Does Aaron Rodgers lose any sleep?
He's going to have He's going to have a restless night.
Does Mahomes?
Well, Mahomes wouldn't be playing until the Super Bowl.
Let me tell you, he's going to have a rest night trying to keep a fucking muzzle on his Tom girlfriend. All right.
Okay.
All right, so we're up to your trivia.
Well, my segment is the trivia question.
Bring it on.
So, this week with the book, you said you had a very good week, right?
Yeah.
Riley, you said you had a very good week betting. We're going to call this week was kind of free money, right?
That's
you got free money. So the segment of this trivia is free money, Mike.
All right, free money.
I'm going to give you two teams and a point spread of a game that's already been played this year.
Yeah.
And you tell me which side you want to take.
All right, good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Week number 4 of the NFL season, the Cleveland Browns traveled to Minnesota and were 2.5-point favorites against the Vikings. Are you taking the Browns or are you taking the Vikings?
What, back then, I'm taking the Browns.
Riley?
Give me the Browns.
Final score of the game was Cleveland 14, Vikings 7. 1-1. That's one.
We're doing good, Mike.
Week number 5 of the NFL season, the Cincinnati Bengals were 2.5-point favorites at Chicago Bears. Are you taking the Bengals or are you taking the Bears?
Bears.
The Bengals.
Bengals. Final score, Bears 20, Cincinnati 17.
Give me that motherfucking money.
That's 2-1.
Give me your money.
What do we got in here?
Nobody. It was just a win.
All right. Week number 3, the Miami Dolphins headed to Las Vegas to play the Las Vegas Raiders. The Dolphins were 3.5-point underdogs.
Baby. What does it say? Hang low? That's my Hawaiian brother. Give me the fucking Dolphins.
Riley?
I'm never picking the Raiders, so give me the Dolphins.
Final score in overtime, Raiders 31, Miami 28.
So I won.
So you won.
I won again. All right, I'm 3
for 3.
All right.
Week number 6, the Cincinnati Bengals headed to Detroit to play the Lions. The Bengals were 6-point favorites at Detroit. Are you taking the Bengals or are you taking the Lions?
No. I want to rock and roll all night. I'm taking Detroit Rock City.
Riley?
I would have taken back then the Bengals, but I know Detroit covered.
Final score, Cincinnati 34, Detroit 11.
Oh, wow. They didn't even cover.
And last one.
All right.
Week 1 NFL season, the Seattle Seahawks traveled to Indianapolis. The Colts were 2.5-point favorites against the Seahawks.
Let Russ cook.
Let Russ cook. So
the Colts.
You're taking the Seahawks?
Let Russ cook.
The Colts.
Riley, Colts, final score, let Russ cook 28, Indy 16.
Let Russ cook. 5-1. 5-1.
4-1. There were 5 questions. 3-2. Okay, NBA trivia.
Oh, boy.
This is a tough one. I come up with this. The Boston Celtics recently signed, is it Joe Johnson?
Yes.
I sold Joe.
40 years old.
Yeah.
Came out. Was he on a 10-day contract?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yes, he was.
So anyway, the theme of this is ISO Joe's NBA draft. 2001 NBA draft.
Oh, here we go.
Joe Johnson was selected with the number 10 pick by the Boston Celtics. I am going to give you the school and the team that drafted the player for the 9 players ahead of him, and you tell me who the player is.
2001?
2001.
Well, Joe Johnson's from Arkansas.
Yeah, I don't have any information on him. I just have the list of players. Okay, you want me to start from number 1?
Yeah, number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1, a center. was drafted by the Washington Wizards, who came out of
Kwame
Brunswick,
Brown.
Georgia High School.
Kwame Brown.
That is correct.
That's right.
Number 2, a center was drafted by the LA Clippers out of Compton, California High School.
Whew. Compton, California.
I have no
You
idea.
say you're down from Compton. You got to really be down from
I
Compton.
don't really.
This is a high school player also. Was drafted by the Clippers. The pick was traded to the Chicago Bulls.
Tyson Chandler.
That is correct.
I'm a bad motherfucker, Birdie.
This correction we're going to send towards Riley Arruda, seeing how he's wearing a Vancouver Grizzlies uniform.
Here we go.
Number 3, this center. See, notice the theme of this draft. Center's first 3 picks. Barcelona, Spain, drafted by the Atlanta Hawks.
Marc Gasol.
That is...
Al Gasol.
Oh, wrong one. God damn it. Damn it, I was the wrong Gasol. I know it's Barcelona.
Number 4, a center drafted out of South Holland, Illinois High School by the Chicago Bulls.
A center.
A center.
Drafted where?
South Holland, Illinois.
Eddie Curry.
Eddie Curry. Wow.
That's 5 for
the man's
5.
on fire.
Bad motherfucker.
Well, it's 4, but you are correct.
I got 5 in a row, bro.
Well, I've only given you 4 so far. So.
No,
but
5
anyway.
questions. I stole Riley's.
Number 5 pick in the draft, a shooting guard out of Michigan State who played 2 years, was drafted by the Golden State Warriors. Played 2 years at Michigan State.
Jason Richardson.
That is correct.
Jesus.
Number 6.
Come on, give it to me.
A shooting forward from, this one was kind of relatively.
Come on.
From the Duke Blue Devils, drafted by the Vancouver Grizzlies.
What year is this?
2001.
Shooting guard.
Shooting forward.
Shooting forward. I'm going to go with either Shane Battier or Mike Dunleavy. Shane Battier or Mike Dunleavy.
Is he right with the other one?
Shane Battier or Mike Dunleavy. Shane Battier!
That is correct.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Thank you again. Cut this out. Put this shit on TikTok, my cock, Instagram, whatever the fuck you want to do.
I want to see. Now, you can go 3 for the title here.
I'm going right
Here's
now.
the question right now. For the $5,000,
Riley surrenders.
we're going for $1 million here.
$1 million.
Are you cashing out? Are you cashing out 10 grand?
All right. Everything's in. Everything's in. Go ahead.
All right. If you get this, I'll tell you
I'm
what.
getting it.
Number 7.
Yeah.
A power forward
Yeah.
out of Seton Hall.
Yeah.
Drafted by the New Jersey Nets, was traded to the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
Power forward.
A power forward out of Seton Hall.
Out of Seton Hall. Played 1 year as a freshman at Seton Hall and then went into the draft.
I believe he got locked up with my brother in China.
Could be. That part I
I
don't know.
believe his name is Luther Wright.
Do you want to get Chris on the phone? Go to a lifeline
No,
here?
I'm going to say his name is Luther.
Oh, we're gonna give you a lifeline here.
No, I don't need a lifeline.
50-50. We're going to give you a 50 because it's not Luther Wright.
All right.
So I'm
So
giving you
we got
one pass on
We
Luther
got a
Wright.
power forward from Seton Hall.
That's correct. Played 1 year as a freshman and then decided to go hardship. Was drafted by New Jersey and got traded to the Houston on draft night to the Houston Rockets.
I do not know. I got to surrender.
His name was Eddie Griffin.
Fuck off.
So you're 6
I
you're
shoulda had
6 and 1 right now.
that.
Number 8.
Yeah.
A center, again, from Senegal, West Africa, that did not play college basketball, was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce this guy's name right.
I got no clue.
Disango Diop.
Yeah, Diop.
Diop.
D-I-O-P-P.
And lastly, number 9, drafted out of the University of Charlotte, a power forward drafted by the Detroit Pistons.
Charlotte.
Hmm.
I know the name if you say it. I surrender. Who was it?
Rodney White. So 9, and then at number 10 was Joe Johnson. So these are 4 other names that were taken that later on that were hits in the. At number 13, Richard Jefferson, who had
Went
a
to
20-year
Arizona.
career at Arizona.
Yeah.
At number 28, out of France, was
Parker.
Tony Parker,
Hall of Famer
point
and
guard.
champion.
At number 34, a guy you're familiar with, the White Mamba.
Brian Scalabrine.
Out of what school?
USC.
USC. And at number 31, all-star guard Gilbert Arenas
from Arizona.
And Wizards, and that's it for the trivia. That was by far an unbelievable run of trivia.
I should have Eddie Griffin right.
You weren't going to get
Diop.
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 Yeah, but that's ridiculous.
If
From 2001.
if I had like in hockey, they'd throw the hats. I would throw the hat right now. That was an unbelievable
That was awesome.
run.
Thank you.
You are the
know
Hurricane.
something? If ifs and buts were candy, that's everybody Christmas. I missed the fucking big one. I go home with the Ziggy. What else is new? Merry Christmas. Fuck you. It's the Hurricane. We're out.